guest is Ms. Chahat Aggarwal. Chahat is founder and CEO at Impact Study Biz, which was founded by Chahat herself a few years ago and is already a success story. Chahat has been awarded, am I audible? Yes, so Chahat has been awarded the Businesswoman of the Year 2020. Thank you so much. So Chahat has been awarded Businesswoman for the year 2020, and she has been a part of the success story of India's biggest hospitality startup, Oyo. So Chahat has been playing multiple roles. So let's get talking with Chahat herself. So I'll invite Chahat. Chahat, if you are here, can you please send me the request because there is some issue over here. So I have invited Ms. Chahat.
Hi Radha,
Hi,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Hope I'm
I'm
visible.
well, thank you. Yes, you are. I hope this is fine.
Yes, this is fine. So it's pleasure to have you here. Am I audible, Chahat?
Yes, I can hear you. Your video is blocked, but I can hear just the broken words. I can't hear you properly.
Okay, okay. I think there are some issues going on. Is it fine now? I think the video has paused.
I can
Is
see
it
you now.
fine now, Chahat?
Yes, much better.
Okay,
Thank
okay, great.
you.
Great. Great. So how have you been? Have you
I'm
started
good.
going to office or working from home yet?
No, we are all working from home and we'll be doing that till next year, August. So until then, under lockdown.
Right, right. That is a good thing to do right
Yeah,
now.
true.
Yes. So Chahat, I have given your introduction. So, but I would like you to tell about yourself. So tell us about Chahat as a person and Chahat as an entrepreneur.
So Chahat as a person and an entrepreneur is very similar, I would say. I'm a very curious person by nature, and as a result, when like my entire education journey and my work journey and my overall life, I tend to do different things, tend to learn as much as I can. So I grew up. I was born in India, grew up in Sydney. moved back to India, moved to London, moved to Amsterdam, and then like now Delhi. It's like I have traveled around the world. I love traveling. I think whenever we travel around, we gain new insights, you meet new people, you see the common issues, you see the different perspective of things that we take granted for. And I think that's what broadens the mind. And that's what I like to do in my personal life, but I implement the same aspects in in my professional one as well, in which irrespective of whatever your skill or whatever your background is, if a designer comes up with an amazing business idea that we can implement, go for it. Or if a writer decides to give us design inputs, we take it. So the idea is that not to restrict yourself, and that's exactly what I have not done. I have been a writer, a painter, a short film director, a management consultant, an author, like, and now I'm an entrepreneur. So it's okay to explore, it's okay to learn, and that's what I continue to do. So
That's wonderful. So
yeah,
that's what my next question was. You have been playing multiple roles like a short film director, writer, designer, management consultant, branding and managing expert,
yeah,
trainer, experienced mentor, and also you have won a beauty pageant. So
yes.
there's a lot of things you have been doing. So which one's your favorite? And all are all these your passions, or some of them
Um,
were compulsions?
all passion. So I am a person who believes that you have one life, do everything that you want to do, and that is it. That's what I did myself as well. One thing which was very, patent was one thing, I'll be honest, was not something I wanted to do at all. It was because of my brother I did it. He wanted to take part in it, and he didn't want to do it alone. So I took part in it, in the girls section of it, and I won. And it was so funny that it was like a sense of a celebration. Like it was something very fun thing for me to do. I didn't take it seriously at all. While I think that's why I won. I was too casual with it. I was just having fun. And when you have fun with stuff, it works for you rather than when you're nervous, when you take too much pressure and you're stressed, you tend to make wrong decision under pressure. So when you take life as a fun, no matter what it is, it keeps your brain sharp, it keeps it stress free, and you take more logical decisions at the time. So out of
Very
all of
true.
this, my favorite is the strategy part. So I love doing brand strategy and management strategy. So I think that is what my passion and my profession both is.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I would like to ask you about your experience of working with India's biggest hospitality startup, Oyo. So how was
Yes.
it? How did you help them build up, and how did it help you build up further in your career?
Oyo was a very interesting experience. I think I had the most personal and professional growth there. When I joined Oyo, it recently had its 250 million funding done, like just 2 days before I joined in. And there was no such thing as like in brand department, there were just 5 people. And now when I left, there were like 40. So it's like you can see the growth within like 2.5 years it had. And when I joined them, my entire focus was actually bringing that brand, the essence of very nice product. There might be operational issues here and there, but it's an amazing product. It's a very good concept and the purpose of it. So bringing that out to people and making it visible, making it more accessible for them, and for them to understand what is it that we are giving out. We are not giving out like a Taj luxury, right? In oil, it was a very basic offering that people like youngsters need, people like us need, or people who travel a lot and who just needs a place to sleep in, a clean and a safe place to sleep in with some basic amenities. That's what it was. And that's where all my time went, in making sure that we have certain standards throughout globally. Because when you do expansion, when you're not true to your brand, you miss the element or value of the entire company. So when we were growing globally, that's my passion project within Oyo, was creating guidelines, like crazy brand guidelines. I didn't sleep for like 3 days in creating those, and how to implement that from India, taking it to US or UK or Europe or China or Japan for that matter, and still keeping their own local element to it. Like how we bring out that Indian bred, vibrant feel without scaring everyone else off. Like keeping the cultural intact was a really great thing for me. And I think Oyo built me up because in a very interesting fashion, because it gave me full freedom to do whatever I wanted to do with the brand. So the best part was that we were not employees. It was like you're an Oyopreneur, right? So you're an entrepreneur within a bigger company setup. So you come up with your own projects, you make your own decisions, and you see how you want to take it forward. There's always a management who's going to tell you, okay, these are our end objectives. But how to get there, no one micromanages you. And that's where you get to showcase your own talent. And that's where you learn from others. You collaborate, you see what other gaps that you have and what new things you need to learn. And I think Oyo played a major role in making me into an entrepreneur that I am today, by giving me that sense of freedom, risk-taking capacity, and just overall training me with like different, like I did everything from operations to figuring out networking with stakeholders, like all of it. So it was like an on-job training. That's what I call it.
So that is very important. Like the company which gives you freedom to
Yeah.
experiment with a lot of things, and you get to work with all the departments, that really shapes up your career further. So you had a wonderful opportunity. So how did you land up with this opportunity, this kind of opportunity in the very beginning?
Oreo, you're referring to. Okay,
Yes.
so it was it was out of random because I was at that time I was working with a brand agency where I was a senior strategist consultant, and I was tired of, every company works in a different way. I was tired of giving up like quick strategies to people rather than taking one thing and helping it grow. And that's where I heard a lot about Ritesh, and he himself is doing amazing. Like he has done amazing work throughout and building Oyo up. So I actually contacted him saying that I need to join your company because I can grow your company. And it was that was it from there. They were like, I met a lot of people in Oyo. Like there was a crazy interview process. It took 3 months to get them there, and everyone had just one question: why you want to join? And I was very driven because I knew that what I can do with this brand. I saw a vision of it, and I was very happy that I could fulfill that within all these years.
Okay. Chahat, I think there are many people, your followers. You should say hi to all of them. So, hi everybody.
Hello,
And
everyone, and thank you so much for joining
hi.
in. I'm very
Yes.
glad.
Hi. Thank you so much, everyone. Because this is a weekday and people really
Yeah.
coming and joining is incredible. Um, so, Chahat, tell us about your own company, Impact Study Biz. What is it about, and how did you start it, and what were the challenges?
So Impact Study Biz is a strategy consultancy, right? So we leverage data science and technology to provide amazing ink sort of strategy, whether it's a brand strategy, it's a business strategy, or it's operational strategy or financial strategy to all startups. It's startup focused completely. And the whole concept is that you don't need to spend enormous time and money in 10 different places to get the desired results that you need. You come to one place, you spend, because as a startup ourselves, I know the importance of money and time that other startups has. Like, there are a lot of restraints and there are big goals. Everyone needs to grow 10x. So hence, Impact Study Biz is all about that. Impact Study Biz is not just a strategy consultancy like Bain or I don't know, McKinsey that just gives you like the plan. Okay, this is what you need to do. That's not what we do. My main objective is to create fair market. Fair market is where a consumer like you and me has an option to go to 10 different places to buy whatever we want. There has to be a level playing field. If there's a new product, an innovative solution, startups should have resources to bring that up in the market. And that's what we do. That's how we help them through our strategy to bring products to the market, to bring new services, new innovative ideas to the market without costing them an arm and a leg. Because otherwise, if they go to any other consultancy services, they take out all their resources, then nothing is left for the development, nothing is left for the product, there's nothing left for the operations. And because I have always worked in a startup setup, I know the core problems and the ground reality we need to fix. So hence, the entire Impact Study Biz is about helping startups to bring, no matter how small the idea is, no matter how tight the resources are or whatever obstacles they're facing, we solve it. That's what we do. We solve problems for them so that we can help them meet their growth goals. We can help them establish themselves in the market. And also when I was starting with Impact Study, like every startup, I had issues because finding the right talent is very hard thing, okay? Because in a startup setup, you don't micromanage people. You do not sit on each other's head. You don't babysit each other. You want self-born leaders. You want people who have the skill, but at the same time can take decisions by their own. And I think it was that part where I was putting in all my life savings into the company and then finding the right set of people to help me grow it and provide the quality of service that I'm very proud of. Because till now we have 100% success rate, and I'm very, very fidgety about quality. It needs to be perfect. So that's why it was about finding the right resources. I think that was the biggest challenge I had to face when I was building this company up.
Wonderful. So how was like, how did you think about starting this company and how was the support from your family?
My family is very supportive. I mean, I think my parents were very happy when I actually did it because I think they believed in me more than I believed in myself. And they have been always pushing me to, start your company, you can do it. And I was the one like, no, don't worry, I'll do it, like eventually. But it was when I was doing global growth for oil. At that time, I realized that there was a really major gap between how people implement strategies. We hired some really big name companies to provide us with it. And at that time, I realized it's a waste of time and money. We could have put that money somewhere else and got better results than trusting some just big brands to give us strategy that we think will implement. And that's what every company does. Because if there's a standard player in the market from last 60 years or 30 years and they ask you to do something, you think that's gonna work, right? But the world is changing. People are changing, market is changing. So the same traditional concept doesn't work. And while I was dealing with that, I realized there's a need for a strategy that works in terms of value, not theoretical, not based on principles, but actual actions by something that brings you results rather than just fluff. So that's why I can either wait for someone else to solve this problem or I can do it myself. And I was so annoyed by this, and I saw so many of my friends have their own startups and they were struggling with it to, how to bring their products to market. They have such amazing products, but they have no strategic direction or money to hire like these consultancies to provide them the direction. So I saw that there's a major need, and irrespective of the country, whether it was UK, whether it was Netherlands, whether it was India, same issue was everywhere. So that's when I was like, I need to get this sorted. I need to like work something out and level the playing field. I hate not having choices. I want freedom of choice. I want customers to be able to, experience nice and better products so that these startups have a fighting chance. So it's more of a passion project to me, this entire company and the mission itself.
There is a wonderful thought behind it because how, however good your product is, a good strategy is very important, and that's what you're doing with your company.
Yeah.
I would like to ask you, Chahat, that due to this global pandemic, many businesses are under tremendous pressure, especially the small businesses, the medium businesses, uh, also big businesses. So, how do you and your company help them sustain through this? Do you
So
have any plans?
So yes, currently we have multiple businesses that we help, some in healthcare, some in technology, um, and some in education as well. So what we do is we created something called a COVID recovery plan. So it's a step-by-step iteration of what changes you need to do in your operations itself, what management costs needs to be cut down, and what can be done in a smarter way. Because people think, like there's a very common dialogue from Suits that when there's a gun to your head, you don't have a solution. You just do one thing. Either you die or you do what they say. No, that's not the case. You have 170 solutions to it. And that 170 solution, that what you can do is what we bring in. So I also wrote a report early this year and published it like for everyone who want to implement that strategy by themselves, was very cost effective. And those who did actually became one of our clients because you need to be very smart where you're spending money. Because COVID is a crisis, but most of the companies grow during crisis, right? So you need to know what are the things you need to leverage and what are the changes you need to make so that you take your company's weaknesses and turn them into strengths. Because there are no such thing as obstacles, they're just opportunities. You just need to see it from a different point of view. And during COVID itself, we have helped raise funding for our clients. We have established new products for our clients. We have taken a small business and made it to a global business. And that is one thing I'm really proud of, because bringing that company from their operations to one country to like 10 now within pandemic and generating revenue for them was a very good thing that we could provide. Um, and that is also all women run business, actually. So the idea is to make smarter decisions, because it's really just based on how informed decision you make, irrespective of your size of the business. So just find some offbeat solutions. That's what we do. We find offbeat solutions and we see we do cost benefit analysis, that every action needs to have a positive result on the business. Otherwise, it's just futile. And that's our entire COVID recovery plan is based on.
So, as a woman, entrepreneur, what challenges do you face in your business, in your work, while working with other companies, while they trusting upon you? Do you feel any difference, any challenges?
Many, because this entire management business is mostly men dominated, and my company is 90% women. So it's a completely opposite what people are used to. And yes, we do face challenges every day. Like there are a few people, I'm not sure how comfortable they are with working with us, because one person actually asked me, like, do you have guys in your company? Do you have like men working in the company who make strategy? And that was really funny, because the concept that women cannot make strategy or cannot lead a management role was very alarming to me. It was very daunting to hear such words from people. And we did lose those clients. Those are not the people who I think fit the ideology of what we call the ideal client or the winners for us. While what I have been really surprised with is there was a big bunch of people who did become our clients, who actually seeked us out just because we were woman-run business. Because according to them, so there is a book called Invest Like a Woman, right? So according to them, they had this concept that critical thinking and crisis management can be done really well by, if led by women. So they give examples of some countries as well where the prime ministers were women and how those countries recovered quicker from this COVID crisis versus others, right?
True,
So
true.
those were the people that really helped lift us up, and hence because of the same ideology, we help other women businesses up as well, because we do not feel that when you grow it's just you're doing it alone. I believe that when we grow together. So we have a lot of women run business partners who do execution for us, or who we refer, like in our network itself, we do cross selling for them, so that each of us can help each other and grow together. So yeah, that's what I think it will take
Okay.
time for people to change their mindset about women giving strategies out, or women in management consultancy, or this entire section.
Long way to go, long way to
Yeah,
go. Even if we are talking about all this, there are still many things to be done to
true.
change this mentality. So Chahat, while business companies are struggling managing their very basic finances, how much are they willing to spend upon advertisements or strategizing and all this kind of stuff?
So okay, every industry spends differently. And like, for example, if it's a B2B industry, you don't need to advertise so much. What you can do, there are alternates. You can do account-based marketing. You can pick specific group of people you want to target, or a specific group of companies, and then you send them personal mails. Because right now the time is all about personalization. It is not about, create a loud noise and people will look at you. That's not there anymore because everyone is making a loud noise. So we take a very personal approach, and hence it doesn't cost much money. Where the money goes to is basically listing down what companies will actually convert, and listing down the entire content or strategic content putting in place. So, to my surprise, companies spend between £2,000 to £5,000 on strategy even now, while the advertising cost is quite less. Like, they do not want to spend so much in advertising because that's what everyone else is doing. But yeah, the good thing is people are moving towards the strategic decisions, in which what are the alternates? If everyone else is like putting out a billboard or putting out Google ads, what can we do to stand out? That's what matters. But yeah, companies are shelling out enough money for it to happen.
Okay. So, have you made any alterations to your strategies, or like whatever decisions you take as a company, uh, like during this pandemic or post-pandemic?
Yes, we reevaluated all our strategies, and our entire strategies are based on research. And we realized that we need to start following the lean method. We cannot just go out there and be very bold. Like, the bold thing is not going to work anymore. So we start working on human emotions, people's behavior, and all our strategies are based on current human emotions, current human behavior, and the next 5-year plan of how the recovery is going to affect what are people expecting from brands, what are people expecting from businesses. That's going to matter a lot. Our entire strategy is just based on that complete research. And also on top of that, one of the major shifts that we did is cutting down on the operational part and the marketing spend. The marketing spend is like, first we used to do a holistic campaign in which you go out on Google ads, you do Facebook ads, you do social media marketing, so on and so forth. But then we realized that instead of going all out and spending all this money, we can take a specific channel for a specific industry and see that works better. It gives us higher return of investment rather than, doing a holistic one, which obviously we cannot afford right now. So it makes more sense to do more targeted marketing. I would say that's the major change where the shift has happened.
Okay. So, what's your favorite mantra that you give to your clients for branding and the growth of the company? Your favorite, some basic mantra.
For branding, I say truth. Mine is true to who you are. So with any brand you create, whether it's your personal brand or your company, if you're not true to yourself, if you're not true to your product, eventually people catch on and they lose trust in you, or you're gonna fail them in one or the other way. So for branding, just stay true to who you are, stay true to your product, do not oversell it. It's okay to be flawed. And I think that's what makes a product or your company or as a person better and more human. I'm sorry, what was the other question you asked me?
For the growth of the company.
Growth, yes. For the growth, I always say go for the long-term growth. There are so many people who will like bring you up in no time. Like in 1 year, you can like meet your 10x goals, and next you're gonna fail. That doesn't make sense. You grow sustainably. You grow with a strong foundation so that no matter whatever crisis happens in future, you will always stand through it. You will not lose. Because when you just run, like let's say you're climbing a ladder and you're not realizing that like there's a fire in the middle and you're gonna like crash and burn. No matter how tall you reach, you're eventually gonna fall down. So it makes more sense to have a really strong hold in the business. Start slow, it's okay. But you'll get to the end goal, but with sensibility, not just like rushing here and there in chaos.
Wonderful. So, Chahat, you have been awarded the Businesswoman of the Year 2020. So, how was it like? Of course, it was
It
a
was
great feeling, but how did it come to you?
it was a mixed feeling, I would say. I was in shock, I was happy, and I was humbled at the same time. I remember when I actually got the trophy and I was just like looking at it. I didn't believe it was there until it was in my hand. I was looking at it. I realized that now I have the responsibility to be better, to do better, not just for me, but for the entire community, for the entire world. Because being a woman entrepreneur is hard. It takes like it takes so much time and energy, it takes so much away from your own life in making a certain vision happen. And now I just felt like now it's my duty to bring it out to everyone else. And so that no one is scared to start their own thing. So that no matter if there's a young girl somewhere right now thinking of how to cure cancer, she can. That's what I thought that I need. Like now it's my responsibility to just go out there and tell people if I can, you can. Um, so it was a very emotional thing for me at the time.
So, congratulations for that and
Thank you so
for
much.
inspiring everybody looking at you. And so, what are the plans for further years, for further 5 years, 10 years? Where do you see your company and yourself?
So Impact Study Biz is doing well. So right now we are on our growth stage. From next year, from January 2021, we are going to start raising funding for ourselves. And we are building an amazing product that's going to bring the strategy on a global scale, like an access that no matter where you are located, irrespective of the location or the means or your gender, you still get the strategy that works for your company at a tap of the button. And that's literally what my mission is, as I said, to level the playing field, to bring new innovation out in the market. And I think it will take us around 3 years to get that product out in the market. And next 3 years is going to be completely devoted on that, while of course serving our clients as well. And I hope that in 5 years I can like come back here and tell you that we did it. We met our mission, and now we're helping not just 10 people in the world. We are helping like thousands of entrepreneurs meet their goals. Is how I see at least my company grow. And same, similar is the journey for me. I think I have a lot to learn, and I learn as I work. I still call it on-job training even now. um, I know that there will be few ups and downs in business, like in any other business, but I'm looking forward to it because I think every obstacle makes you stronger. It brings out the best in you, and I hope that I can tweeze out those elements in me along the journey.
So, do you have any different plans also to start with, or are you planning to take just impact study base further, or do you have any plans of other companies, or you have a lot of passions? So,
So I am a chief strategy officer of an AI tech company, which is building complete AI products, which is Citrusberry. It's a Mumbai-based company. So I would say that in my journey, it would be taking these two ahead because they both go hand in hand. One is building products that help each and every businesses, improve their operations. That's what Citrusberry do. And impact study is all about bringing in the strategy to establish themselves and bringing them to the market. So because they both go so well together, I'm just lucky to have both of them in my plate and, seeing each of them grow and working on it day and night to make that happen.
so we wish you all the best, and we look forward for you to come again and tell us the further success story. So, as a young entrepreneur, what message would you like to give to the youngsters with the same dreams that you are working upon, and also to the women out there who are dreaming to start something of their own?
I would say do it. You will make mistakes. Everyone does. All of us does. No one is perfect. And perfection is overrated. Just go ahead and do it. It's your first step. And I think the first step is the hardest. And what my dad always tell me, perseverance is the key to success, and that's true. No matter how many times you're shot down, you need to dust up and get going. You will fail 100 times, but it is that one time success that matters. So no matter whatever your dream is, just ask yourself why you're doing it so that you know the reason and just work towards that reason. And I think it's all our actions that matter. No, we all think big things, Since I was a kid, I've been thinking, oh, I want to like do this or that. But unless and until we put it into action, it doesn't matter. So, like to all the women, to young girls, or like all upcoming people, I would just say that don't think much, just go for it, do it. And it's the it's the fear of failure that stops us. So trust me, all of us fail. And like, I'm not kidding. I once, okay. So think of this conversation I'm having. Imagine me forgetting my own name. That happened. That's a failure. Once I forgot my own name in an interview, it was embarrassing. Does that mean I won't go and do any other interviews anymore? No, that's not the case. Right? So the point is, it's okay to fail. Just do it and just work hard, and eventually you go there, get there. And once you meet your goals, it's worth it. It's all worth it.
True. We have a lot of people here, so I would like to ask them if anybody has any questions to ask. Chahat, please go ahead and ask. A lot of you are here. Thank you so much for joining in. If anybody has any queries, any questions to ask, please go ahead and ask.
I think everyone is
So,
as nervous as I am on that.
so Chat, what was the like? How are you bearing with this pandemic issues, and how has it affected the work?
Um, the work is slower, but at the same time, we found a unique way. Like all our team is digitally connected throughout the world, and we found more efficient way to make that happen. During this lockdown, I'll be honest, I haven't left the house at all. I'm like in house since like March starting till now. I'm too scared to step out. And hence, I think it's the mental health that I am focusing more on from me, from my team, from my family to my friends. That's why I keep on writing on Thrive Global, as you know, like continuously about how to manage the mental health at this time. So I would say the lockdown has done some major good for us, which is like bringing us new strategies, new way of life, new solutions to really complex problems. And I think it's been a more exploring journey for myself as a person.
True. So everybody got a chance to look beneath themselves, inside
Yes,
themselves. So it's like a self development period for
true.
everybody of us. Um, so you have been to a lot of countries studying and working, maybe. So what were your experiences? Which was the best country, like
Oh,
for the
that's so
studies or?
difficult. I had amazing time in Australia. I had like amazing, really good bunch of people there. They're very hardworking, and I think my sense of freedom and adventures came from there. That was like my budding experience of how you take your education. That's good. Like you should study, you should work hard in it, but at the same time, understand the totally different side of you, which is exploring the country, which is exploring yourself, your limits. And that was really fun in Australia. I personally like London a lot. I think the fact that you can go in a day from a Shakespeare play to a music concert is just breathtaking. And me being a crazy reader. I have like a mini library no matter where I go. I always have a book with me. I visited all the places in UK where the certain writers lived, and the entire history of Tower of London. So it was like London was very close to me. It was like my books were coming true. Everything I read as a kid, I was there and I could see it in person. Um, Netherlands was, I would say Netherlands, if you want to know how to live a happy life, you learn it from Netherlands. So it's a perfect balance. But out of all the countries, I would say the reason I like India the most, why I keep coming back to India, is the sense of accomplishment and the business. Because everywhere else, you just feel it's nice, oh, it's great. I think you become lazy. I became lazy. I don't know about other people. I became really lazy in other countries. When I come to India, there's like so much competition. You always have to be sharp and ready. You can't just be, oh, I'll do it tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. If you don't do it today, someone else is going to do it. So I think India has that drive, that young passion, and the hunger of success. And I think that's what I learned from India. Like how to do business is what I learned from India completely.
That's a new thought.
Yeah.
So there is a question from Neha. How can women be more shock resistant to economic shocks like it happened in pandemic?
I think that's where what I call sustainable strategies or sustainable planning. If it's irrespective of being a woman or not, it's true to every gender. Unless and until you plan a strong foundation for yourself, once you build what I call crisis reserve, you always have that crisis reserve whatever business you're running. But even if you're an employee, have that reserve so that whenever such crisis happens, you have that money to sustain on. And at the same time, what I call an idea book. Have a book and list down 3 ideas every day that you can do. And once, let's say, you don't have a job, for example, okay, you are laid off, you are living on your savings, go through that idea book, see what skills you have, and based on that, trust me, you'll find a different direction for yourself. Just because you, let's say, you're a content writer doesn't mean that's all you know what to do. And if people are letting go of content writer, they need something else because business is still going. Okay, it's just not going in the traditional sense it was before. And if it's going, let's say now in healthcare, what do healthcare people need? How can you fulfill that role there? What skills do you have to make some contribution to the society as to what society needs right now? And I think that's where this ideology of listing down the ideas and having that reserve helps the most. I would say just do that.
So I hope, Neha, you got your answer. So if anybody has any questions to ask, please go ahead, because we have few minutes left. So okay, am I audible? Because I can't.
Yes,
Your screen is little black.
yes, you're audible.
Okay. Thank you, Neha, for the question.
Thanks, Neha. I hope it was helpful.
We had a wonderful talk last time with Neha, and it was really great. Neha was a guest last time, and this is what I want to tell everybody, that it is important to be a part of all the sessions, all the live sessions, even for the guests, because that is what we are looking forward to. We are having the sessions here so that everybody, it's kind of networking. So it's important to be there for everybody, to take the stories, to share those with the people with same mindsets. It's very important. So thanks to you, Neha, for being here. So Neha says you are on point, Chad. Very true. Yes.
Glad.
So, Chahat, I would like you to give like some kind of inspirational message to our viewers, be it women or men, whoever. So, what would you like
Um,
to say?
I'm not sure if it's inspirational or not, but one thing I would like to tell people is be open about their mental health. When you're running a business, especially, you tend to suffer a lot of stress. You have to juggle a lot of things. Men or women, doesn't matter. All of us go through that pressure. So unless and until you're mentally healthy, unless and until you work on yourself, you cannot do anything right because eventually you're going to burn out. So I know people say do yoga and meditation. I am horrible with it. I can't do yoga. I can't do meditation. I just can't stay still. But find an alternate. Take time out for yourself. You like to listen to songs. You like to dance or do anything, but just for yourself.
Anything.
Take out that half an hour, and that's all you need. And I think that half an hour makes you more productive. It brings out the better you. It gives you that sharp mind to take better decisions rather than, burning out and just like stressing. And then eventually it's going to lead to depression or even worse. So it makes sense to work on yourself. Give yourself a break from time to time. It's okay. You're allowed to take break. It's totally fine. So do that. I would say that is most important thing right now, especially during this time, because we are so used to human interaction that the social distancing and lockdown, it has changed the way we live. So we need to learn to cope up with it by working on our own mental health.
That was super. That was super, Chahat, because this is a very important thing to follow, very important issue, which
Yeah.
we don't give as much attention to. So it was very important point. Thank you so much, and we wish you all the best, Chahat, for
Thank you
your
so
upcoming
much.
projects and for your future. Thank you so much.
Thank you. It was lovely to be here, and like you yourself are very inspirational, like bring creating this platform and connecting all women leaders together and bringing their talent and their stories out to the world, I think is just beyond words. So thank you so much for having me here. I like I'm really glad to be here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.